Japanese macaques, a monkey capable of surviving harsh climates. Intelligent, resourceful, are these social primates so advanced they have actually developed culture?
Our mission is to find out. We're going to visit two very habituated groups of Japanese macaques, each from a completely different environment. A snow troop of the mountains and a beach troop of the coast.
We'll experience their different lifestyles and find out what it's like to be a Japanese macaque.
Be an insider in the creature world. That's the mission. The Kratt brothers, dropped in remote regions to live with the creatures. Through their eyes, on their turf, by their rules. Be the creature.
We're here in Asia, on the islands of Japan, a small country of 127 million people, but because it's more than 80% mountainous, still has pockets of wilderness.
Here in the mountains of Shiga Heights, we're searching for a very special primate, the Japanese snow monkey.
Not only can she survive in this extremely harsh environment, she's also capable of ingenuity, invention, and maybe even culture.
What is culture anyway? It's learned skills and traditions passed on from generation to generation within a group of creatures, rituals of food, games, and leisure. We humans sometimes think culture is exclusively ours, but is it really?
That's a question we're here to answer, along with many others, as we join a troop, adapt to their way of life, and find out what it's like to be a snow monkey.
We were looking for a certain troop that was very comfortable with people. At an altitude of 2,600 feet, we stumbled upon them. A troop of over 250 monkeys.
Whoa, bonanza! Look at them all, Chris.
Snow monkeys!
Yeah, we found them!
All right! These are also called Japanese macaques, and they're the northernmost primates in the world besides humans.
You don't think of monkeys living out here in this cold weather. But here are monkeys in what must be about 2-3 feet of snow high in the Shiga Heights.
The snow monkey group is highly structured according to dominance rank. Higher ranking males and females get dibs on everything from feeding spots to sleeping spaces. This is troop living.
It's amazing how they go at each other.
Yeah.
These monkeys, they have personal space and they like to
Deal with each other, work out friendships.
Hey.
Look
how close.
He's sitting on my snowshoe.
Oh, whoa. As soon as a monkey gets too close, gets inside that personal space, they go at each other.
Reaffirming the rank.
One monkey we have to identify is the alpha male.
Not him. He just doesn't look like alpha material.
Ooh, what's going on? It's the big male. That's the big boss right there.
Yeah, he leads the movements, protects the home range, fathers most of the babies, and mediates the fights.
We have to watch out for him.
Whoa. Here he comes, and everybody clears out,
See how this
including
place
us.
cleared out?
That big alpha now had 2 new monkeys to boss around. We were moving in to live with the troop.
We'll camp out down here, but these monkeys, they're going way up top to the tree line and sleep in those deciduous trees up there.
Here, buddy, can you grab that and put it in that hole over there? Come on, buddy, help me out. It was clear already that the macaques had one essential building block for culture, an intricate social structure.
We were looking for 2 others, the ability to develop or invent new behaviors and to spread them throughout the troop and to new generations.
In the morning, we were right back on their trail.
They've been through here. Can't see their tracks, but they're around.
These macaques eat anything from fruit to flowers, insects to bird eggs. But winter is different. What do these monkeys eat during the snowy months? Imagine eating bark and eating it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, that's what these monkeys do all through the winter. They really like maples and other deciduous trees. And what they do is they break off a twig and nibble at it, trying to get at that inner cambium layer. That's that soft, fleshy layer right underneath the bark. They also dig right into the trunks with those super sharp canines. Break off a huge chunk and eat that inner tender cambium layer. Without those sharp canines, it's impossible for me to get into this trunk, but they can get down deep where the good stuff is.
Chris, troops on the move.
Hey, bud.
Oh, no way! No way! Leaping right over the waterfall. They are definitely confident.
That is one time you don't want to miss your mark. The water is ice cold, but they're skipping across this river no problem. Wow. Martin, on the other bank, a mother and her baby. It looks about 9 months old.
He picked the wrong spot to forage, right under his mom. And every time she digs, he gets a mini avalanche thrown on him. Oh, another monkey's moving into her space. That tap, that's a signal to jump on. They're not gonna try to cross this, are they? No way. It is slick. I'm not gonna make it across that way. I'll have to catch up with them. Oh, yeah! I can't believe they can make this kind of a crossing. These rocks are caked with ice. The mom with the baby on their back. That takes incredible balance to do it as a team. The mother has to hit the right rocks. The baby has to stay right on that rump, riding it, making sure that he doesn't throw his mom off. So they're working as an amazing team, and they need to, because even with the snow monkey's ability to keep warm, if they took a plunge into this icy water, got swept away, there is a question if even they could warm up to ward off hypothermia and frostbite. But with these snow monkeys, you never know. I'm still astounded they can even survive out here. On the other side of the river was what the monkeys were after. Their secret weapon for living in this bitter winter climate. A volcanic hot spring. Wow, Nate. Oh, look at them all.
These hot springs are naturally heated by volcanic action to a temperature of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Woohoo! Everybody's here.
And they're going in.
Come on in, the water's warm, guys. It was happening. A rare hot tubbing behavior that's now part of this troop's lifestyle. This is what we'd come to see.
Monkeys lounging in a volcanic hot tub. You can tell by their faces, they're just loving this. Just soaking it up. Pure relaxation.
Here's a culture I can really relate to. This hot tubbing is an amazing cultural adaptation that these monkeys have to keep warm in these snowy mountains. They're the only known population in all of Japan that takes hot tubs. How did this start? Well, one day in 1963, a single 2-year-old female decided to get into a volcanic hot spring.
She had probably observed Japanese people hot tubbing in the natural springs. She went into the tub, loved it. Then the young members of the troop, watching her, decided to copy her. And before you knew it, the entire new generation of snow monkeys here were getting into this warm water, benefiting from the heat from the center of the earth to get them through life in this harsh environment.
Saru ga watashi ni onsei ni haitemasu ka?
Whoa, big boss! He is beating up a low rank. Ah, he's asserting his dominance.
Message sent and message taken. Peace returns quickly around here with friends, allies, and relatives separating in groups around the tub.
The snow monkeys here have really figured out how to live. They have their hot tub, and then they hang out together, a little grooming, which is like a monkey massage. And you can tell from the look of the monkey who's getting groomed. The look on his face is telling you this is great. He feels good, he's in heaven. And look how attentive the groomer is, picking anything that shouldn't be there. Dirt, parasites, a thorough cleaning. This doesn't only feel good, it's a part of the monkey's social structure. How to keep in contact with your friends, with the higher ups. And this is the way the troop functions better, with all these monkeys reestablishing their social contacts through grooming.
This amazes me how these monkeys can live in this temperature. The air temperature right now is 35 degrees Fahrenheit.
These monkeys are jumping in that hot water, but then they have to get out into a 30-degree climate out here. And with them being soaking wet, how do they get back to their activities in the snow without freezing?
It's mostly about the dense coat. You can tell that these furry coats keep these monkeys warm in the winter. They're like parkas or snow jackets, sealing in a layer of warm air. But hot tubbing keeps them extra, whoa, extra warm. Oh, man.
Nice slip in. Is it warm?
It is definitely warm, but I don't know how they get out of this warm water into the cold air and not freeze.
It's amazing. You can see their bones and their muscle. You can see right through that thick hair when they're wet. And your feet, we're gonna have to make sure you get warm somehow.
I know. The monkeys will have the answers. Here's a guy who's just been hot tubbing. He's just as wet as my feet are. So maybe if I follow him around, I'll be able to pick up how to get my feet dry and warm again. In the snow, where their fingers are picking through this stuff, 24 degrees Fahrenheit in this cold snow.
His fingers are so wet. They're drenched and they're moving right through this slushy stuff. 30 seconds of going through this snow and my hands are freezing. But hers aren't. And that's because snow monkeys have a special ability to automatically pump more warm blood to their fingertips when they're cold. We can't do that.
Not automatically, but moving might help. My wet feet are starting to freeze. Gotta get to moving, get the blood circulating. Ah, the cliff ledge is facing the sun. So you've got the coat that's warm even when wet, the circulation trick, and now this. One good place to go after a hot tub is on these ledges. You've got direct sunlight shining at you. I can feel the warmth. So I'm just gonna hang out with these grooming monkeys on the ledges and try to dry off these feet. You guys are amazing. You know that? Just bare skin. They walk through the snow like it was nothing.
On day 4, we decided that the best way to pick up on culture would be to stick with the active learners.
Bunch of youngsters having a play session. Oh yeah, they love to wrestle and tumble and play and jump. As a newborn snow monkey, you immediately know where you stand within the troop. You actually inherit your mother's rank, and from an early age, you work out friendships and alliances through play. What a move! All young macaques play, but these mountain monkeys have a special cultural adaptation for play. They actually play with the snowballs. They can even pack them themselves.
Since culture is only culture if it is passed on to new generations, we decided to pick a buddy who might show us the process. A 9-month-old we called Flake.
Coming at you, Flake. Troops on the move. They're going up.
As the monkeys moved back up the mountain, we did our best to follow.
Wow. This is not easy.
It helps to be as light as a snow monkey. 40 pounds is a lot easier to move through this powder than 200. There they are. Monkeys. Oh, by the time we get up there.
Oh.
You're right.
Yeah.
There they go. They're too quick for us in this deep stuff.
Huge drifts on such a steep slope, there was no way we could keep up.
Life's tough out here. It's cold, it's wet, it's windy, it's unforgiving. And even though these snow monkeys are adapted for survival, they're just huddling at night, waiting for the morning sun to come and warm them up. Huddling together, using the troop for warmth. Curled up in the trees. Just them, the snow, the cold, and nature.
Where did we sleep? In our tents beneath the cliffs. Here's the water. Life here is a battle to create and preserve the heat to fight the cold. Nighttime temperatures can reach 25 degrees below freezing.
When you're looking at a hot meal like this, I'm thinking that all the snow monkeys have is bark. It just doesn't seem fair.
It's square, and there's powder on top. I think I'd rather eat bark.
That was a cold night.
How you doing, Martin?
That was so cold.
I know it was a cold one.
It was gonna be fun. They're frozen solid. I'm really surprised I even slept at all. How'd you sleep, Chris?
I woke up a lot just to kind of close the holes in my sleeping bag. And the ground was freezing.
The cold just came right up from the snow went right through your flesh into your bones.
That's why they get off the ground and sleep in the trees. The only way to get warm would be to get moving. Find Flake and the troop.
Hey, Chris, a sorrow. This is a very, very primitive type of goat. A solitary animal who browses on twigs and branches and leaves. Sure-footed and quick. Great at moving through these steep mountains. Wow.
The macaques have no natural predators like big cats, bears, or wolves, but winter is a predator. A lot of monkeys, especially young ones, will die during winter.
And before we could find our troop, a blizzard hit. How were the monkeys dealing with the storm? We bet on the hot springs, hoping to meet up with them there.
Hello.
Well, at least we know where to find you on a day like this.
Chris, look who's coming.
Flake! All right, Flake, you made it.
Are you going in today? No way. We haven't seen any young monkeys go in yet, but everyone else is.
It looks like there are 3 types of entry. The backwards entry, the frontwards entry, and the cannonball.
Oh, wait a second, they're not just swimming, they're diving.
It's amazing that these monkeys actually dive underwater. One of these monkeys must have figured out that they could do it.
They're looking for grains that people put out for them during the worst months of winter.
These older monkeys really have diving down. I've seen 3 or 4 of them dive, but I haven't seen a young monkey like Flake or one of his buddies doing it yet.
They haven't even gone in.
Are the young monkeys picking it up? That's the question.
If they don't, this hot tubbing tradition will die.
Hey, Flake, have you tried diving yet?
Come on, give it a try. He's thinking about it. Oh yeah, he's going in. Swimming. Way to go, buddy. A perfect doggy paddle. He's a natural all the way across the pool. Not all macaque groups actually swim, but it seems so natural.
That looks too fun and warm. I gotta get in there. Chris, you ready? We gotta join them.
What would we do without this hot tub?
What would the monkeys do without this hot tub? They'd survive like other mountain macaques do, but they'd lose something. It would be like America without baseball, Japan without sushi.
Should I be checking for lice too now?
Whew, this is the place to be during a blizzard. So Flake, you guys usually spend around 30 minutes a day in here? Probably longer on a day like today, right?
This is my kind of culture.
Hot tub and massage. They're really not very different from us at all.
Day 6. We couldn't wait to see what Flake and his buddies were up to.
Right before our eyes, Flake's learning this hot tubbing behavior developed 4 decades before. That's how culture is passed on, from one generation teaching the next. They like to grab onto each other and splash, and they've got a pretty good frog kick going already. All right, there's Flake and one of his pals. There he goes. Heading over to his buddies. 9-month-old macaques splashing around like 5-year-old humans. He's dunking his head completely. Oh, he dives again. A new skill for Flake, diving. He got some water in his ear. There are lots of monkeys in the pool right now, and he's the only one diving. There he goes again. So hot tubbing made it into monkey culture. and so have snowballs, but let's see if we can introduce snowballs in the hot tub. Oh yeah, I think it's catching on.
It's so great watching the expression on his face, trying new things. These monkeys are smart, and the curiosity of the young is right there in those eyes.
So buddy, watch closely. You just pack it with your hand, right? And then hand it to your pal. And watch it disappear in front of your eyes. He's fascinated that as soon as it hits the water, it just disappears. If this is gonna catch on, it'll start with the young monkeys and spread throughout the troop.
And telling from the look in this young monkey's eyes, he's picked up everything that Chris was doing.
I really feel like we know these mountain monkeys now.
Oh yeah, and it'll be amazing to head down the coast, check out the monkeys living there, see if their culture is different and how.
That meant dropping 2,600 feet in altitude. A lot easier going down than coming up. Coastal monkeys, here we come.
All right, we're heading to the coastal monkeys. We're on our way to an island with no people, but lots of monkeys. A research site since 1948. We traveled more than 500 miles across Japan to get there.
Perfect, there they are.
Oh, there's a lot of monkeys here. Wow.
Wow, listen to them.
All right! Wow! Look at these coastal monkeys!
They're on the rocks, they're on the beach, they're waiting for us because these monkeys are provisioned. They get supplemental wheat and sweet potatoes.
The feedings let researchers study the social interactions of this wild troop. About 90 monkeys live on this 77-acre island.
This young monkey here is learning the ways of life of the coastal monkey and picking up the type of culture that's being passed on from generation to generation. Let's see what type of things he's learning and learn them right along with him. And we'll call you Limpet. How different is your life than Blake's? They still huddle the same way as the snow monkeys on the mountain when the wind blows off the coast, but it's nowhere near as cold here as it was where the snow monkeys live.
You can see a difference in appearance between the two groups. The thicker coat is obvious, but is there a difference in culture?
This guy over here is the alpha. He's the tough guy, he's the boss. Looks like he's moving into position. He knows exactly what's gonna happen next. These monkeys are provisioned with wheat grains 3 times a week. And as you can see, this is where the dominance and the social structure really comes out. And that's exactly what these scientists have been studying.
Limpet is about 9 months old.
And he's the smallest of all the youngsters because he's an orphan. His mother is dead, he's on his own. And he's feeding pretty well. Stuff in those cheeks. I can't believe it.
His mother was a pretty high-ranking female, and because rank is inherited, even though she's gone, Limpet may still carry her high rank.
The problem with eating wheat off the beach is every time you pick up a little grain, you get a bunch of sand along with it. And that doesn't taste very good. It doesn't feel very good on your teeth. So the amazing thing is, Emo, a single genius monkey, the Einstein of this troop, invented a way to deal with this problem. When she was 4 years old, she realized that if she picked up a handful of wheat and sand, walked over to either the ocean or a river and dropped it in, the sand would separate from the wheat and she could pick it up and eat the cleaned brains. Now, Emo invented this behavior, and it was spread through the troop. First through young monkeys and members of her family, and then eventually spread to more and more individuals until about 40% of the troop was doing it. This happened almost 50 years ago and still survives today, a lot like hot tubbing.
What an unlikely pair. The little orphan and the big boss, the smallest and the largest of the group. And you can see he's always on his toes. I thought he was going for me, but he was chasing that one away. He is vigilant, and this little orphan must know to hang by. And possibly the big boss has established some kind of relationship with him. And I don't want to look in his eyes, because then he'll take that as a threat to his dominance. So look at that, boom, there he goes. Another monkey got too close to his feeding. And you can see, look at the space around the big boss and the little one. The monkeys are in a ring. Most of them are over here. And these two alone right there. That is astonishing.
Okay, everybody's moving, heading down along the beach and around this rocky point. They're probably heading off foraging. These monkeys have a lot more to eat in the winter than the snow monkeys. See, eggs, fruit, leaves, flowers, invertebrates, anything they can get.
At his age, Limpet would still be drinking milk from his mom. How can he survive without her?
Now he's on his own on the rocks, on these huge rocks. Little climber.
The troop is way ahead of him, though. Is he going to be able to keep up?
The orphan Limpet was alone on the rocks, falling behind the troop.
Hey, a young female.
Thank goodness. I was wondering how he was going to move with the rest of the troop when they really started going. It's a combination of his own grit and a little friendship.
They're working this coastline. What are you guys looking for here in the intertidal?
She's taking him around. She took him around.
Martin, they're eating shellfish.
I'm coming. Shellfish, awesome.
Let's follow Limpet. Limpet knows where he's going already. Just a young monkey, but he knows how to hunt for shellfish. Whew. Oh, they're eating these tiny, tiny little snails, shells and all. That one got away on you. No, it's funny we called him Limpet because a limpet is actually a type of little shellfish.
That's something new, unique to the coastal monkeys. Fishing in the intertidal.
They're omnivores, so they'll eat what they can.
These macaques have been known to eat mussels, picking them off of the rocks that are exposed by a low tide.
One thing is definite, these monkeys have more food variety in winter than the snow monkeys do. They're finished feeding now and heading back to the forest. They're all going up. We gotta get out of this intertidal too. They know the workings of this island, and we don't want to get stuck out here. We gotta make sure our gear doesn't get swamped by the high tide. We're heading up the beach. Time to set up camp.
We're so used to major human inventions like airplanes and computers that it's so easy to blow off the Macaque's inventions as no big deal.
Yeah. You gotta look at some of the first human inventions to be able to relate, like the harnessing of fire.
Fire has enabled us as a species to do so much. Invented by some human ancestor a long, long time ago for protection, for warmth, and that fire spread as the young members of the pre-human clans picked it up, and before you knew it, it was an integral part of human survival that persists to this day.
All right, let's find those monkeys.
We'll try to catch up with them at their sleep site when they start feeding. And they've gotta be up here somewhere. All right, we got a ridge we can walk on. We got a ridge we can walk on.
For a little while, at least. Make that a ridge we can crawl on.
This island is a tangle of brush. Gotta crawl through it.
Japanese macaques like to feed on these types of flowers, so they could be in the area. Martin, I think I see him. Yeah, I think I see him. Wow. They're right over here.
Sliding into the monkeys. We found them.
Here they are.
Hey, Chris, have you seen Limpet?
No, not yet.
How can little Limpet make it through this tangle? He's smaller than normal. He doesn't have the milk power from his mom. He doesn't have a mom to help him through the tough stuff. It's amazing he can get around here. But where is he?
When they travel, it's usually the high-ranking monkeys at the center with the lower ranks on the outside. So if Limpet were with his high-ranking mom, he'd be near the center. But on his own, he's probably lagging.
These macaques spend 2 to 3 hours on the move, and the rest of the time for foraging, playing, grooming.
And the monkeys brought us back to the beach about 200 yards from our campsite where we had started in the morning.
All right, so most of the troop is already here, starting a grooming session. But where's little Limpet? That's not him.
There he is.
Yeah, Limpet survived another day.
Each day is critical. The more he keeps his strength up, the better his chances for survival. Day 11. Limpet made it through another night and kept up with the troop. I think he wants to get in on the grooming. A lonely orphan without a mom. Poor guy. Oh, here comes his best friend. It's a good thing he has her. There they go. great. He's getting groomed too. He needs all the help he can get staying parasite-free. Without a mom, he's on the edge. Japanese macaques usually groom close friends and relatives, so I'm starting to wonder if this could be his older sister. We know Limpet has a 2-year-old sister, and this female is about that age. I think it's her. Looks like he is loving the attention.
The boat! It's here! All the monkeys are so psyched, they're all heading down. And it's like the gods are arriving with the bounty, just dropped from the sky. You monkeys have no idea the researchers have been coming here for 50 years giving away wheat. All they know, it's a part of their life. Completely unnatural, but to them, very natural. Whoa! These sweet potatoes are so valuable to these monkeys. They're full of nutrition. They grab as many as they can and carry them off to eat them in peace. Oh, whoa. Oh, they're also carrying them to the water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're doing it. Wash it. Washing your food. It's ingenious. We do it. The monkeys do it. They drop the potato in the water, roll it around, get all that sand. Sometimes they scrub it a little bit. And then you have a clean potato ready to eat. This was also an invention developed by Emo, the genius monkey, 50 years ago. Now, some monkeys like to pick up their sweet potato and take it down to the ocean. Why do they do this? Probably because they like the taste of the salt water. Maybe they're getting other minerals from the salt water. Let's see how it tastes. It actually tastes pretty good.
Now this big mess of potatoes got to be too much activity for one little monkey. Our little orphan Limpet is all alone, way over there, eating wheat. And so here he is, little Limpet, all alone, away from the crowd. You're smart, though, because he knew, he's probably learned already, that in that sweet potato stampede, he could easily get trampled. I couldn't even see him in that pile. And why? He's out here, 100 yards from the rest of the group, where he's safe. We'll keep an eye on you, Limpet. You know what? I'm gonna get you some sweet potato. All right, hang here. Here you go, little one. Here you go. There you go. This is good. You can't just eat wheat alone. I'll leave the rest of this here for him in case he feels like going for it later. He's looking pretty good. Sad thing, though, the odds are against him. But creatures have a surprising knack for being able to survive. And Limpet has his sister, the big boss, and his own will to live, and that inner strength that's in this tiny squirt of a monkey. Good luck, Limpet.
So, do animals have culture? You decide for yourself. The mountain macaques play with snowballs and have learned by observation to take hot tubs. Is that culture? The coastal macaques separate wheat and wash potatoes. Is that culture? They're all rare and unique behaviors invented by and specific to a particular group. And you see it with other creatures too. One of only 2 populations of orcas in the world that has figured out how to catch sea lions off the beach. Certain populations of chimps that learn to use a tool to open nuts. And a single known group of mongoose that have recently started grooming warthogs. I believe all these things are examples of culture. What do you think?
The Japanese macaque is a tree swinging,
Ground walking,
hot tubbing,
snowballing,
troop living,
friend supporting monkey.
the northernmost monkey in the world, able to live in harsh and varied climates.
With individual troops adapting their way of life to suit their environment.
These monkeys are inventive, intelligent creatures, able to pass on skills and traditions from one generation to the next, just like we do.
They're a lot like us, right down to the same cultural traditions. Meet you back at the hot tub, I'm gonna get the gear.
Sounds good. Hot tub it is.
What happened to Chris? He did say the hot tub, right? Wonder what happened to Martin. We said meet back at the hot tub. Have you seen a funny looking naked guy with no fur?